Some quick chronic pain home tips. One is, if you look at this, even though it's really pretty, this is just a typical hot water bottle. So now if you've been in chronic pain, hot water, like an Epsom salt bath, if you can get in and out of the bath, is a life changer. How much Epsom salt in your bath, you might ask? I'd say at least a couple cups. And sometimes I'll even use some essential oils in the bath with the salt that will soak out some of the toxins. So Epsom's very powerful. If you don't have a bath or you can't get in or out of the bath, you can always put boiling hot water in one of these. Just don't burn yourself. And then, you want to cover or something over it, whether it's a towel or whatever. This just happens to be a velvet version of it. And you can use heat on your body for up to 20 minutes. Now, I recommend if you're in chronic pain to use both heat, and I'll have my helper here grab the ice. You want to combine heat and ice in order to pump fluid in and out of the tissue. So, just the typical ice packs that you can get from anywhere. This happens to be a neck one, so you could do that. You could be sitting in front of on your couch watching TV and have a neck ice pack. Again, ice, like heat, should be used at minimum of 20 minutes and maximum 20 minutes. So sometimes I'll do like heat on the hour, 20 minutes, and then after that 20 minutes of ice. Again, the heat and the ice, they pump fluid in and out of the area. It helps with subacute pain. If you have a new trauma, a new sprain, a new injury, and you're swollen, only ice. You don't want to use heat. And if you have an old chronic problem like arthritis or, some of the bursitis, you want to use heat on the hip or on the area of pain, but only 20 minutes, okay? So that's a big home tip. Another home tip I have is rolling up hand towels can give your back support. So a basic hand towel, this is about the amount you want for a cervical spine or your neck. And sometimes at night when you're having neck pain, etc., that would be the perfect support, whether on the side, if you're laying on your side, or laying on your back. That also would work well. And then I've got a bigger pillow here, or a bigger towel here that I did just roll up, and that would be perfect for the lumbar support. Now, whether it's a lumbar support while you're on the couch, so you have some support there, or when you're sleeping at night to put under your low back on your back. People also ask me, Dr. Wagner, how should I sleep at night? And that should be on your back or on your side with good support. So that's the answer to that. There's many other things that we could add in, like, there's no particular brand. And this one, there are things that you can do to massage and work some of the muscles and trigger points. But if you don't have this handy dandy type of thing or any other kind of massager, be careful with massagers, especially the ones in the chair if you have a back problem at the nail salon. If you lean too far in and you have a scoliosis or a back condition, you can actually worsen it by some of those balls going on the chairs. So even with this, you have to be kind of careful if you're going to go up on your traps. Make sure that you control how much pressure. But one thing you can do is you can just use your hand to do little trigger point and pressure points on what's called large intestine 4. And it's an acupuncture point, and you can squeeze and release that, and that will help with pain. So that's one thing you can do, which is good. Sometimes I will just trigger point with like this machine is even easier, but let's say you don't have one of those and you just have your good old fashioned thumb. You can go in around the hip if you're having low back pain and kind of put pressure on. Now, trigger points are really pressure points that you hold, and oh yeah, you can find some tender spots. Hold and then release. So trigger point therapy is really a marvelous thing. It can be painful at times, but it can also release a lot of the tension in a joint. So you could just apply that to yourself, a little bit of pressure. Definitely use that magical spot right here. And there's a lot you can do at home to deal with your chronic pain. And I hope that you have enjoyed these videos and you are able to get off the couch, live a life pain-free, and get out there and do what you want to do.